as the story of Lapu-Lapu continues. During the 15th century, according to Pigafetta's history account books, the greatest and the famous clash fight encounter between the chieftain of Mactan Island, Datu Lapu-Lapu, and Ferdinand Magellan named Battle in Mactan, or dubbed Kadaugan sa Mactan, happened. It all started when Ferdinand Magellan's commanded galleon ship's fleet voyage on sea expedition from Spain arrived in Cebu. Magellan befriended Raha Humabon, the tribe leader, and mingled and made friends with the native locals in the tribe. Magellan was able to convince the tribe community in Cebu for them to be baptized to Christianity, in accord to the wishes of Magellan in spreading Christianity in Cebu as well as to other neighboring islands. Magellan, with that intent, tasked Raha Humabon to convince the two Datus who ruled and led Mactan Island to be baptized to Christianity and pay the alliance to the King of Spain. But only Datu Zula obeyed the request of Raha Humabon. Chieftain Datu Lapu-Lapu prevails and made strong stance refusing to obey Raha Humabon's request. This prompted Raha Humabon to ask Magellan's help to fight against Datu Lapu-Lapu for a strong defiance to Humabon and Magellan's order. So when Magellan received the confirmation regarding Datu Lapu-Lapu's refusal to be baptized to Christianity and defiance to pay homage to the King of Spain, this triggered an anger and hatred between Ferdinand Magellan's soldiers and the chieftain Datu Lapu-Lapu's native fighting warriors whose egos were touched. That sparks the start of the famous battle named Battle in Mactan. At early dawn on April 27, 1521, Ferdinand Magellan with galleon ships sailed towards Mactan Island together with 60 soldiers armed with guns and clad in body metal shield armors. Since it was low tide, the galleon ships couldn't go near to the shore. Almost 60 of Magellan's soldiers started sailing together on the smaller boats towards the shore, carrying with them their European weapon of supremacy. While on the other side, Chieftain Datu Lapu-Lapu stands to lead with almost 1,500 native fighting warriors, preparing their bamboo spears, bolos, kampilan, and poisonous arrows for the incoming attack. The battle first started with cannon fires coming from the galleon ship that caused panic and fear among the villagers. But since it was low tide, the cannon's fire could not reach the village houses near the shore. So Magellan's soldiers started shooting at the native fighting warriors, and some also started burning the village houses. The villagers started yelling in anger and shouting with utmost hatred in their hearts, a signal implying preparation for the attack as retaliation to the upcoming aggressor. And the fierce, bloody battle erupted between Ferdinand Magellan's soldiers and Datu Lapu-Lapu's native fighting warriors. At this time, Datu Lapu-Lapu didn't show signs of waver to his people, even though he knew how strong their opponent was. But instead, Datu Lapu-Lapu, with no fear and reservation at all, showed his utmost bravery and fighting skills technique as seen and attested to all of his men. Datu Lapu-Lapu prevails to stand still victorious and strong in defending and protecting his people over Ferdinand Magellan's aggression. Datu Lapu-Lapu, for the love of his tribal community, could not accept and allow his people to be conquered by a colonist. At first, Magellan thought that he would achieve victory in the battle with the use of European weapons, but they never expected that they were outsmarted during the battle. The native fighting warriors of Datu Lapu-Lapu launched their poisonous arrows at the feet of Magellan's soldiers, the best way for an easy kill since their feet were not covered with armor. In the midst of the battle, many native fighting warriors and Magellan soldiers were found dead, and some of Magellan's soldiers gradually retreated back in the galleon ship. Ferdinand Magellan was left with 6 soldiers who were trying to protect him, but eventually failed to do so. Magellan was hit by poisonous arrows on his neck that caused his death. That ended up the battle between Lapu-Lapu and Magellan. Chieftain Datu Lapu-Lapu, together with his fellow men, achieved victory over the famous battle named Battle in Mactan. Datu Lapu-Lapu's victory on the battle in Mactan marks a history, making Datu Lapu-Lapu as the first Philippine hero. As for the body of Magellan, the locals decided not to give it to the Spaniard soldier, but instead, they kept it as a memorial. A monument was built exactly where the place Ferdinand Magellan had fallen. As for Lapu-Lapu, his relationship between Raja Humabon was gradually fixed, and according to the local legends, Lapu-Lapu turned into a stone and guarded the Mactan Sea. In fact, there were also oral stories spreading that every fisherman in the city has to throw coins at the stone-shaped human statue as a way of asking permission for them to fish on the island.